Hello everyone, this is going to be my first weapons build and video to showcase the new gun, the HAALVU. Hopefully you guys are watching this video because you got it from the Twitch rewards as well, in which case you got it pre-installed with the Orkin Catalyst, which is really good because my plat situation isn't the best. But yeah, I wanted to make this video because I think this is a really unique weapon in many ways. One is obviously it is the first weapon to feature the sentient or Tau status, which is a really good and unique status, which buffs basically every other status in the game and proccing status. And another is the unique trait, which makes this gun feel a little alive, which makes its burst fire more of an auto-target weapon. And it is a really interesting weapon in the way it functions and the way that it works. So this is obviously going to be a status build, of course, with a 25% crit chance and 2.5x crit damage. It is not bad to use as a crit weapon, but I would strongly suggest a primer if you're going to do so. So I'm going to primarily build it on the sentient and build around status. So what you really want is, as you can see, it has a really high fire rate. So using a mod that boosts fire rate, for example, Prime Shred, will do wonders. So this is the base damage, and as you can see, it really just kind of applied a lot of Tau in like a quick succession. So what we want to do is probably, I'll just look it up. There we go, Prime Shred. So it scales with fire rate immensely well. So you always want to have something that boosts its fire rate. And with boosted fire rate, obviously you get way more stacks per second. Another thing to keep in mind is that the HAALVU does not have like ammo reserves. It kind of just reloads automatically and almost instantly. However, if you do go down to zero, like if you just keep firing, and you do get down to zero, it does have a reload animation. You do want to avoid this because it is a lot slower than just letting the battery run and recharge. So that is going to be like a little tidbit that you want to remember is, keep in mind how much ammo you have left, and yeah, just try not to reload, basically. So obviously if you're going for status, the go-to arcane would be Crux. And I've seen a lot of Crux builds already, and people proccing Heat Viral, and it is honestly not a bad start if you go for Heat Viral. Let me just get that. So, front cryo rounds for damage, right? Serration for damage. You always want to like boost base damage and fire rate for stacking status. Galvanized Chamber for some multi-shot. And then we want Infected Clip, or let's use the, where is it? Malignant Force for more status chance, as well as Thermite rounds, so you get that Heat Viral. Now, as you can see, the total already went up quite a bit. It went up to 606, and it is definitely not a bad weapon. So look at that. That is base damage. That is with only like Heat Viral. Now, this weapon just benefits from a lot of different things. So you want like I can't fit everything. You want some crit chance in there, obviously, and you want to kind of because crit obviously scales with the status, but yeah, you want a crit chance, you want crit damage, you want Rifle Elementalist in there somewhere. Everything that can boost status damage is so good. So if you really want to get the best out of this gun, you will have to offload a couple of things. So for example, in my build, this is my build. So I went with a primary debilitate as well as a mag heat viral build. So that way I have 6 different statuses, and then with the sentient status, that is 7 different statuses. So not only is this a great weapon on its own, let me just demonstrate real quick. It's not a bad weapon on its own at all. Like I use the magnetic mainly for the 3.25x damage on overguard, as you can see. But also you might notice that there is there is prime shred. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove prime shred for the purpose of offloading the fire rate stat. So what I would rather do is, like, you can put in a Bane mod, right? You could put in a Bane mod for that multiplicative status. Or you could also, if you want a more diverse thing, you can obviously go for a galvanized scope. Or if you really, really wanted to lean into heat inherit, you could use Rifle Elementalist, and instead of thermite rounds, you could use Hellfire. So that way you get the maximum heat damage out of it. So I'm going to offload my my fire rate stat onto a Warframe Arcane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using, Arcane Acceleration. Because like with how fast it fires and its decent crit chance, this thing is always going to be relatively active all the time, as long as you're just shooting. And then of course you want to equip a companion with, the Tenacious Bond to further boost your damage, and there's literally no drawback to that. So this is what it looks like now. That's not bad in any way. And of course you can also offload critical chance by using Hotshot, which I already have equipped. And as you can see, it just starts to absolutely shred. Now these are level 125 Ballista Eximuses on Steel Pack. So this is by no means like small damage. It is definitely really good. Now of course if you want to go heat viral, you can swap out magnetic capacity, but I personally like as many stacks as I want. And with the magnetic heat viral and primary debilitate, we get all 4 of the primary statuses as well as magnetic and viral. So that is my kind of reasoning as to why I use debilitate. You could also remove magnetic, put Crux in, use a standard heat viral build. Now, what is interesting about this weapon, right? Now, I haven't talked about the alt fire at all. And there's a reason for this, because I wanted to talk about it separately, because it has very unique traits. So let's just, let's activate it. It has about a 2-second activation time. And as you can see, if you fire, it locks on to up to 4 different enemies and just fires enemies. Now, I wouldn't recommend this fire for groups of enemies that are like really tanky, as you can see. It's not bad at all, but it is, well obviously I got this on, that busts my critical chance, but it is not the best for dealing with forged enemies unless you like want to prime them and just like spread a bunch of damage, especially if you have like shred or something that really pierces the enemies. Then you could probably like prime them and stuff. But here's where it gets really interesting, right? The detection radius for this is actually pretty small. It's about 5 to 10 meters. So if you actually stay out of that range and actually aim for yourself, as you can see, you can use the burst damage to lock onto one target if you want. And that actually increases the DPS massively. Now, you do have to kind of take care of maintaining your distance between like all enemies, and you want to kind of play around that if you want the maximum damage from that burst onto one enemy. Now, obviously, you want to maintain your distance from your target as well, because if you just stay near him, right, it'll only like really look for body shots, as you can see from the yellow clocks on my rifle. There are a couple of headshots there, but primarily it's going to be body shots. Like you see a couple, like if you aim to the head sometimes, maybe. But yeah, that's the reason why I would like to maintain a distance, and it is really accurate. It absolutely has no recoil, so you can just shoot this thing from afar if you want. Like look at that, absolutely insane. So yeah, that is going to be my showcase of the HAALVU. And if this video gets, you know, let's say 1,000 likes, because this is my first weapons platform build, I will perhaps, if requested, do more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.